framed the palace in the retrograde transfusions that we cherished when we were young and now despise as we spittle into our coffee. I was not one of the people who, in foreknowledge of my own descent, crafted knuckles out of pastry and leaves to take a byway that hasn't been sanctified by any mortuary or pizza place would inevitably result in the kind of fallopian dismay that wasn't a priority in the times where we had enough bread. To shackle our intentions to the dismaying protuberances of yesteryear requires an ignorance of the principles of spaceflight that sometimes various kinds of animals that inhabit not zoos but unintentional confibulances wouldn't always want to share. There are some people who like to nurture cattle, and there are some people who like to slaughter them. And if there's a willful slaughtering, then we can guess there's some kind of resentment operating under the 10-gallon hat of the people who own the matriarchy. But in the case where there's a nurturance, doesn't necessarily mean that the splitting of the cranium from the dorsal fin is a testament to insincerity and pain. One time in the history of determination of crime and the kinds of wheel-borne habitats that inculcate criminal intentions, I had a hooded memory that became a big lake and also a silhouette. And twice or three times there was a figure that was Cupid-ish, if not Cupid prime. And when it wanted to go through a doorway, it would sing like a stool pigeon that had been caught red-handed stealing aluminum. Why, we can say, when we attach things to our desires, why does it mean that chrome-bound illustrations of car magazines and whistle stops hold us tenderly as if a matriarch, as if a mother built of glue? Rice grows in pantries and in synonyms. But you know what doesn't grow? Halifax. To take the couplets and the stanzas that begin with the letter V and make them into a mobile that you dangle over the infancy of your own mishandled assignments would inevitably coruscate through the rhymes and the prose and the short fictions we were made by. Were our mothers and fathers trapped within a different narrative, perhaps one written by a scrawling 3-year-old? We wouldn't necessarily have to handle the same volume of paperwork that comes across our beetle-browed handmaiden. I don't know where my car keys are, but I do know where I left my heart. And every one of us has a place that's like a gym locker, but it's not full of stinky socks, it's full of stinky thoughts. And to take those thoughts and iron them, or try to give them a thorough washing in the sink where we used to paint or use our fingers to make animals out of clay, we'd have to put on an eyewear that made us only see the positive intentions that we had, and the ones that bore fruit, like cherries or cherry tomatoes. Because handling emotional effluvia with, gloves that are made of corresponding highwaymen, to make that kind of circular reasoning become a parrot or become a bris, well, that takes a gall bordering on limelight. That takes a gall bordering on the thirst for tequila-filled rum. And, well, we can dismay at the portmanteaus and the overhangs in front of the little shops in Paris. And if we take them seriously, then they may make us mince. And if we don't take them seriously, they could make us coffee. So we have to be very careful which we choose, and we have to be very careful about the sluices that we admonish. Comments welcome.